Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the NUS Undergraduate Admissions Sharing Webinar. I'm Grace, and I'll be your MC for this morning. Thank you for taking time to join us. The sharing you will hear this morning will be presented by the Dean of Admissions, Professor Goh Se Song, and after his presentation, there will be a Q&A segment with Prof. Goh and two NUS students. If you have any questions, we greatly appreciate if you could please write them in the Q&A tab below, and we'll answer them towards the end of this webinar. Thank you for your patience. Professor Goh Se Song is the Dean of Admissions at the National University of Singapore, NUS. A mathematician by training, he received his honours bachelor degree from the University of Oxford in 1988 and his master's and PhD degrees from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor in 1990 and 1992 respectively. He joined NUS's Department of Mathematics in 1994. He is highly passionate about education and has received numerous teaching awards, including the University Outstanding Educator Award in 2009. His research interest focuses on the theory and application of wavelets, approximation theory, and harmonic analysis, and he also participates in interdisciplinary research involving the practical use of mathematics. So without further ado, let's begin today's session. Prof. Goh will share about the hallmarks of the NUS experience, important considerations when selecting your course of studies, global opportunities, as well as the process and timeline of admissions application. Prof. Goh, please.
Thank you, Grace. Very good morning to all of you, and welcome to the National University of Singapore. And so let me get my slides up, and then let's get going. Okay, now I believe that all of you here are now at a very important juncture of your life. For the local students, the A-level students, you just got your A-level results yesterday. Warmest congratulations to all of you for completing the A-levels. And we hope that today's session, we are able to give you a good introduction about the learning opportunities, the degree programs that NUS offers. And feel free to make today's sessions more interactive. Feel free to type your questions on the Q&A tab. My hardworking colleagues behind the scene will help to answer them while I'm talking. Feel free to use the emoji at the bottom of the screen to show me what are the topics that are of greater interest. I'll emphasize more later on during the Q&A. And let's get going. Okay, now many of you are now thinking about your university educations. And university educations nowadays is going to be much more than a paper qualification, much more than just accumulating knowledge. At the university, we are now focusing more on a given, which is of course the disciplinary knowledge and inculcating your future-ready skills. And to do that, we also provide different and innovative pedagogies for the delivery of classes. Like your usual lecture tutorial system, we do have it. Seminar style, small class teaching, we have it. We have more experiential kind of learning. We also have a hybrid of online and face-to-face learning. And nowadays, we all know that to solve the complicated problems of the VUCA world, we need to provide interdisciplinary learning opportunities. We want our students to have global perspectives. And also, very importantly, I saw the first questions in today's webinar is asking about careers, asking about internship opportunities. All these are part of the paradigm shift in university educations. And some of you are now really thinking very hard. What should I choose in terms of my degree program that I should pursue? And let me help you with the answer to that question. Let me ask you two questions back in return. What is your passion? What is your aptitude? Passion and aptitude are two very important attributes that will take you a long way. Because if you're passionate about something, you would like to learn more about it. You have strong aptitude in it. The more you learn about it, the more you find out about this, you want to, you are getting better at it. You want to you're even more passionate about this. So these two things is going to drive you, and most likely your first job after your graduation will be related to what you study at the university, and that's where passion and attitude are even more important. And of course, during the course of study, we will teach you disciplinary knowledge. We will train you for your future ready skills, and most importantly, we integrate both of them together for you. And once again, welcome to the NUS experience. And let me give you a snapshot about NUS and some of the topics that I'm going to cover in today's webinar. Now, in terms of QS World University Ranking 2026, we're very thrilled that we maintain our number 8 position in the world. And in 2024, 2 years ago, it was the first time that NUS came in number 8 in the world, first time within top 10 university in the world. And we are both humble and excited by this recognition. And subsequently, in the subsequent 2 years, 2025, 2026, 3 years in a row, we maintain our number 8 position in the world. We are a research-intensive, comprehensive university. Every year, we take in more than 7,000 undergraduate students. And because of our size, we're able to offer a wide range of bachelor's degree programs. Later on, you will see that we have more than 60 different bachelor degrees programs. And again, because of our size, we are able to let our students enjoy a very vibrant student life with more than 200 clubs and societies and interest groups. Now, although Singapore is at one corner of the world, coming to NUS means studying in Singapore. It doesn't mean that our students will not have a global exposure. In fact, we have more than 350 partner universities spanning over 40 countries that our students could spend one semester or even 1 year or taking summer and winter programs in all these countries. And with all the preparations, our graduates are very employable. We are consistently within top 10 for global employability. And some of you may be wondering, what are the subjects that NUS is strong in? There is a separate ranking called QS World University Rankings by subjects. We have a total of 22 subjects that is in the global top 10. If you expand the list to top 20, we have altogether 36 subjects in global top 20. So let's take a look at the subjects in global top 10. You notice that we have various different engineering disciplines: chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, material science. All of them are within top 10. In terms of computing, our computer science and information system is number 4 in the world. And in terms of the sciences, chemistry is one of our strengths. Mathematics, is another strength. Statistics. So all these are within global top 10. In terms of STEM discipline, you notice that we are very well represented. How about the non-STEM discipline? Non-STEM discipline like geography is ranked number 6 in the world. And you can see that we are actually also very strong in business. So you are marketing. So our strength as a comprehensive university is very well spread out. And together with all the strengths that we have in these subjects, then we can actually offer more than 60 different bachelor's degree programs. And we have actually taught generations of graduates from different disciplines. We are Singapore's first and largest university. If you see that little logo on the top right-hand corner of the screen, that is NUS 120. Last year, we celebrate our 120th anniversary, and we continue our celebration all the way until the end of June this year. And being a research-intensive university, we are doing impactful research that changes lives. And if you want me to summarize, how can I summarize the NUS education? Let me make it simple. Let me summarize it by what I call the 3 C's of the NUS education. First C, customizable. Second C, challenging. Third C, current. How you're going to make it work, that is entirely up to you. We believe in giving our students ownership about deciding how they want to craft up their NUS experience. And in terms of undergraduate degree programs, you saw this wide list here, which is more than 60 disciplines. And if you're interested in humanities and sciences, you should apply to the Humanities and Sciences Common Admission Program. What is the meaning of this common admission program. That means if you're admitted to, there are 8 choices on the admission application form. There are 4 of them are what we call the common admission program, which I have over here. If you're admitted to any of these common admission program that I've color coded, you can take any of the majors that is listed under that common admission program. No further selection. If you change your mind after 4 semester, before 4 semester, you can change to any of those same color coded ones within that common admission program. And in other words, we are actually making a commitment to the student. You have a lot of choices. And you can, let's say if you're in humanities and sciences, you can pick any of the majors under arts and social sciences, or you can make any of the majors under science that is color-coded in purple. There are those that is color-coded in blue. Those are boutique program. You apply directly to the program, like food science and technology, pharmaceutical science, and we have a new offering this year, cross-disciplinary program called geospatial intelligence. Now, these are those programs that is actually, you apply directly to that program. And if you're interested in engineering, engineering has also gone under the common admission framework. So you just need to put down engineering. All those topics that I've highlighted in red for engineering, you can choose that. No further selection. If more students want to do electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, we may happen. If you're interested in the more modern topics like biomedical engineering or our new major, robotics and machine intelligence, which launched last year, you can choose that as well. And there is one topic that is computer engineering that you apply directly because this is jointly offered by the College of Design Engineering and the School of Computing. School of Computing has a few direct admission programs. They also have 2 under the framework of common computer science programs that's color-coded in purple. And one of them is artificial intelligence. This is a new major that was launched last year. Our NUS Business Schools offers 9 different majors under the Business Administration program. And again, it's a common admission framework. Students can choose any of the 9 majors, including popular ones like finance, accountancy, marketing. You can choose any of these. And we have professional schools like medicine, dentistry, law. And we even have a music school. If you're interested in healthcare, we have nursing and pharmacy as well. And nursing, you can apply directly. And this year, nursing, we are launching a new concurrent degree program of nursing and a master degree in biomedical informatics. All these are available on the application form. So what are the hallmarks of an NUS education? Now, typically, for an NUS degree, you will study 4 years and a total of 40 courses. So on average, 10 courses per year. These 40 courses we split into 3 different baskets. The first basket is what we call common curriculum. These provide a rigorous, broad-based intellectual foundation that expand your learning capacities. Our common curriculum is actually tailor-made towards your faculty. Like if you are in the College of Design Engineering, you have one set of common curriculum. You are in the College of Humanities and Sciences, another set. Business School has its own set. And likewise, School of Computing has its own set. And after you have had when you're studying the common curriculum, at the same time, you can start to think about your major. And major requirements typically is 15 to 20 courses. And some students would say that 15 to 20 courses out of 40 courses is really relatively few number of courses you study for the major requirements. Now, that was actually done on purpose because we do understand that students want to have choices. So we deliberately carve out an unrestricted elective space of 10 to 12 courses. And that gives you flexible pathways. Let's say a student wants to be a mathematician like myself, then the student can actually, instead of doing the 15 courses for mathematics, he can take the remaining 12 courses under unrestricted electives to study mathematics. Then the student will have a total of 27 courses for mathematics. That gives you plenty of opportunity to deepen your expertise. On the other hand, nowadays we all know that interdisciplinary learning is very important. Students can do a second major, can do a minor in another discipline. That is one of the advantages of the comprehensive university. And we couple with experiential learning like internship to enrich your study. So let me illustrate this flexible and multiple pathway. Suppose that we have a student interested in our new AI major. So the student will go to the School of Computing, take the common curriculum of the School of Computing of 10 courses. Then the student will do an AI major of 20 courses, and then he has this unrestricted elective space, and he can take any courses across the university. It doesn't matter. We give you flexibility. But the students want to go deep in AI, so the student can use the remaining 10 courses and do entirely on AI and computing. That gives the student still a single major, but with deep knowledge about AI and computing. But on the other hand, the student realized that nowadays, frankly speaking, what really fuels AI is big data. Data analytics is very important. So the student realized that data analytics is very important for his AI major. He can actually use the 10 courses of unrestricted electives and do a second major in data analytics. That is offered by the Faculty of Science under the College of Humanities and Sciences. You can do that, no problem. So the student will graduate with a double major. But the student, after the student has tried the data analytics, he feels that he knows enough about data analytics. So he decided not to do a second major, but to do a minor. 5 courses, no problem. We can do that as well. He still had 5 courses for him to try various other courses, maybe an economics course and things like that. Then that is a major minor combination. But there's nothing to stop the student from doing a second major. The students, after studying AI, studying data analytics, wanted to be an entrepreneur. This is where the student can go to the business school and do a minor in entrepreneurship. 1 major, 2 minors under the major-minor combinations. And just now I already said something about we have a new major called geospatial intelligence. Geospatial intelligence, this is a rather new topic and something that we're going to launch in this academic year. This is essentially doing analysis and also providing insight from satellite images, aerial photographs, maps, and geographical data or location-based data to analyze so that you can actually use the information for defense, urban planning, environmental management, or maritime operations. And this is something that is very creative, jointly offered by the Department of Geography in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences and the School of Computing. And this is what we call a cross-disciplinary program that you learn 2 disciplines, and not only that, we integrate these 2 disciplines together. And this is for students who are really interested about harnessing geospatial intelligence. And I already mentioned that you can do a second major, you can do a minor. If you do 2 sets of primary majors requirement, then you can graduate with a double degree. Our double degree programs doesn't take a total of 8 years. It's 4 to 5 years, depending on which degree you are doing. And we also have joint degrees that's offered by NUS and a partner university. And it's also possible for you to study a concurrent degree, that you study a bachelor degree and a master degree side by side with each other. And if you want to further enhance your learning, let's say you are interested to really stretch your knowledge about interdisciplinary learning, you can also complement your NUS major that you have, let's say your AI major, and you can study the NUS College rigorous interdisciplinary curriculum. NUS College, their interdisciplinary curriculum is all conducted in seminar style, small class teaching, 20 to 25 students per class. How does this fit into your study plan? Now, your major is still the same. You will still do your major in AI. Your NUS College curriculum will replace part of your faculty common curriculum and also use up some of the unrestricted elective space. And altogether, there are 13 courses for the NUS College, and one of the course is like 2 courses because it's actually 8 units, the team-based project. And we want students to take ownership of their learning. Now, we do know that studying in A-levels can be stressful, and coming from A-levels to the university can be even more stressful. But we want to get you started. We want you to get used to university life. So we do offer what we call a grade-free first year. Now, grade-free first year means the courses that you have taken in the first year, if you like it, you can keep it, and this can be counted towards your graduation GPA, grade point average, that will determine your class of honors. But if you find that the grades are not as good as you desire, you got a C and you thought that you could have done better, as long as you got a D and above, you can still keep the modular credit, but the grades will not affect your graduation GPA. And this will also provide opportunity for you to try interesting courses without worrying about the grades. And we have what we call undergraduate research program. Some of you are very passionate about wanting to do research. You don't have to go to graduate school to do research. In NUS, you can take part in an undergraduate research program, approach one of the professors, and get to work with him as in his lab, and that can be counted as one of your courses. And we recognize that learning is really beyond just the academic curriculum. We have non-academic curriculum that will develop you holistically, and we have the framework of NUS 1 that we want you to actually leverage all these opportunities, like in student life, in residential life, experiential learning, global opportunities, internship, and that will also help you to transit nicely into the university. So talking about global opportunities, there are various things that you can do that you can make the world your classroom. Now, you can go for the student exchange program, our flagship student exchange program that you spend 1 semester or even up to 1 year in one of our 350 partner universities. And what you do there is that before you go, your courses will be mapped out nicely. And then after that, you will still pay NUS tuition fees when you are there, and all these courses will be mapped back to NUS for your graduation requirements. If you find that 1 semester is too long, you can go for the summer and winter programs. Shorter duration. Take 1 course during the summer and winter holidays, 4 to 6 weeks, and get a taste about studying overseas. We have a very unique program in NUS called NUS Overseas Colleges, NOC. Now, these are for students who wanted to be an entrepreneur, who really want to have a first-hand experience as life as an entrepreneur. And this program started in 2002. What the students would do is that the student would be an intern at a startup for up to 1 semester or even up to 1 year. And at night, they will attend classes at a renowned partner university. And this program, since it's starting more than 20 over years ago, more than 4,000 students have gone through this, and through the process, more than 1,000 companies have been founded. Where are the places that you can go for an NUS Overseas Colleges experience? You can go to the North America, like Silicon Valley, New York, Chicago, Toronto. You can go to China. There we have NOC in Europe, London, Munich, and Stockholm, and also NOC in East and Southeast Asia. Then, of course, for those of you who say, how about our campus life itself? Is it interesting? We have a very vibrant campus life. And for those of you who are overseas, who are not able to come to NUS yet, you can always visit our NUS Campus 360 Degrees virtual tour. Take a look at our beautiful campus. And you can make yourself at home on campus. There are various kinds of on-campus accommodations that I'll explain to you briefly. There are essentially 4 types. One is the halls of residence. Halls of residence, there is a meal plan. There are activities to develop you holistically. And this is the traditional halls of residence for those students whose parents are NUS graduate. You ask them, Shears Hall, Rifles Hall, Usual Isa Hall, all of them are still here. These are the halls of residence. More than 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, we have what we almost 20 years ago now, we have what we call residential colleges. And residential colleges, these are a different concept. Most of them are in the university town, and there is meal plan, there's a place to stay, but there are classes. Students take 4 classes that is within this residential college, and that can be counted towards the faculty common curriculum. And in small class teaching, you live, you learn together with peers and professors from faculties across campus. And last year, we launched a new residential college called Acacia College that's focusing on AI. And these are for all students, not just computing students. And then the other type, which is available for first-year students, is what we call houses. Now, houses, there's no meal plan, but there are activities to develop you holistically. It's thematic. And last year, we launched a new house called Valor House that is for sports, for students who are interested in sports. And in fact, the location of Valor House is next to our sports complex. In year 2 and above, you can be considered for our student residences. No meal plan, less activities, but there's a very vibrant international community. And last but not least, NUS College has a residential component. Now, the difference, this is not just a residential college, it's a faculty on its own because it has a very extensive curriculum of 13 courses. And I'm sure on campus, you'll meet friends who have the same, who will challenge you, who will cheer you on, and who have the same interests as you, whether is it in arts, music, community service, or sports. And we prepare our students well for employment. We have a Center for Future Ready Graduates that engage our students, not just in the final year, but as early as the first year. Advising you about how to plan your internship, how to plan your study. And we also organize career fairs, and we have career advisory in every of our faculties. And internship is definitely one of the components that we have in our curriculum. And many students actually do internships even beyond the compulsory internship of their curriculum. Some of the some of the curriculum is optional internship, some are compulsory. But students actually went out of the way to do internships. And because of all the preparations, we have very strong graduate employment. At the global stage, there's a Global Employability and University Ranking and Survey, 2026 survey, NUS came in number 8 in the world. We have a local joint autonomous university graduate employment survey, and more than 90% of our graduates were employed within 6 months after graduation. So saying all this, let me now say a few words about applying to the university. And for those of you who are presenting the Singapore Cambridge GCE A-level results, which you just received yesterday, this slide, let me explain to you. Now, this year, as you all know, the A-level rank points is now, the maximum is no longer 90, but 70. So we use your 3H2 and your GP subjects to decide on the rank points. If you have done H1 content subject and your H1 subject actually improves the rank point, it can be used to regross, and I believe that you're familiar how this is done. And of course, you need to pass your project work, which is at H1 level, and you also need to meet our mother tongue language requirement. In terms of admission, we are making a holistic approach that includes academic merit, subject prerequisites, and your interest and aptitude. So how it works is that we will first look at your academic results. If your academic results are very strong, that we are able to give an offer to you, we'll make an offer to you. But we know that it's very competitive to apply to the university. So what we do here is that we know that there are still students with very good results, but we are not making an offer yet. And that is where we deliberately also carve out a space, a number of places for aptitude-based admission. So what we do here is that if we're not able to make you an offer based on purely results, then we'll look at your other attributes, including your aptitude, your interest, and other things to decide an admission for aptitude-based admission. NUS considered all students for aptitude-based admission. if we are not able to give you an offer just based on results. And as a result, all students need to fill up 5 short response questions, very targeted ones, so that it will help us to tell us help us to know who you are and what you have done. You will get to list your 4 achievements so that you will highlight your accomplishment beyond grades. Now, there's the other thing, which is first choice bonus point. Now, we do want to recognize students' passion for what they've put down as a first choice. So bonus points are awarded for first choice degree programs. Now, certain programs like those interview programs I've highlighted below here, first choice bonus point is not applicable because all students will have to be decided through aptitude based. And of course, apart from Singapore Cambridge A-levels, we also recognize a wide range of international qualifications. In fact, we recognize more than 30 different international qualifications. For international students overseas in the audience, go to our website and you look at the wide range of international qualifications. So let me say a few more words about this aptitude-based admission. Now, some students were actually very worried. They say that, do I need very high-level achievements? Now, you are your own strength. Show us your strength. Now, these are just some examples about things that can be put down, but it doesn't mean that this is an exhaustive list. Like for example, if you have won medals in some of the international Olympiad or even the local Olympiad in all the scientific discipline, you represent a country or your school in arts and sports, you have key leadership opportunity positions, all these, put it down, fill up the 5 short response question and achievements wisely. And the 5 questions, some of you are very concerned. Is it some fancy essay we're looking for? No, we are looking for targeted short response question. Most of the questions are 600 characters, 5 or 6 sentences. The first question is asking you about how you have done your preparation for your chosen degree program. Second question about your resilience. Third question, we want you to be reflective and tell us how what is important to you has impacted you in a concrete way. Fourth question about your proudest achievement, and 5 question, anything else you want us to know. And do we offer scholarship? For Singapore citizens, we offer bond-free scholarships that cover full tuition waiver, and most of the scholarship also cover living expenses and apart from tuition waiver. And so we have 3 tiers of well-rounded high achievement scholarship, like Global Merit Scholarship, Merit Scholarship, Undergraduate Scholarship, NUS Undergraduate Scholarship. Then we also have more specific or talent-specific one, like NUS Sports Scholarship, Performing and Visual Arts Scholarship, and AI Talent Scholarship. Now, you look at all these scholarships, there's a lot to do, but not to worry. There is only one scholarship form that you need to put in for Singapore citizens, and you can check whichever scholarship that you want to be considered for. For international students, we do have scholarship that's merit-based and awarded to individuals with academic excellence, outstanding leadership, and core curricular activities. These include, ASEAN Undergraduate Scholarship for ASEAN nationality, Science and Technology Scholarship for students from Asian countries studying a STEM discipline, NUS International Undergraduate Scholarship for truly exceptional international students. NUS College has its own, and we have a new Association of Banks in Singapore Go King Sui scholarships for all nationality. Now, for international students, there's no need to fill up an additional form. We will look at your admission applications and we'll shortlist eligible students for scholarship consideration and interview. There's another aspect that is very helpful for financial aid, that is for MOE tuition grant. Now, this is a substantial tuition fee subsidy from the Singapore government. All Singapore citizens will be offered automatically, and that there are no other conditions after this is offered to you. Then for Singapore PR, you will also be offered, but you have a work obligation, which I'll explain in a moment. For international students, the MOE tuition grant is offered competitively to international students based on the merit of the applications. And for students who take up the MOE tuition grant, you have to work in Singapore PR or international student. You have to work in Singapore or Singapore registered company for 3 years after graduations. So this is what the MOE tuition grant does. Let's say you're interested in computing, then Singapore citizen, the fees is 8,250, and that is a major subsidies from the 39,000 full fees. Then for PR or international student who take it, you notice that the tuition fee has been reduced more than 50% from the 39,000 full fees. And we have a wide range of financial aid available. And so we have financial aid like bursaries and grants, like for the Singapore citizen, we have this higher education community bursary, higher education bursary. We have our own NUS bursary, and NUS bursary we also offer to SPR and international student. And if you want to stay on campus, there's on-campus support as well. And students going for study abroad program, the Singapore citizen, we have what we call the NASA, and we also have opportunity enhancement grants. Then there are subsidies and funds. These are for students in Singapore. And then there are loans as well. So loans can cover tuition fees, can cover study loans as well. So, and the MOE tuition fee loan and MOE study loan, further details about the quantum, application timeline and process, look out for our website. You can find out more from the website, and they'll be available in May. And I just want to highlight, we want to make sure that all our Singaporean students, regardless of financial background, will have a full suite of the NUS education, the NUS experience. So we have launched the Enhanced Financial Aid several years ago. And what it does here is that if your per capita income, that means the total family income divided by household member is not more than $1,100, you will get the government bursary. At the same time, NUS bursary will top up to give you full coverage of tuition fees. Now, so that you do not have to pay any tuition fees. Then, if your PCI is not more than $750, on top of it, we'll give you $4,000 for living expenses. Plus the opportunity enhancement grant of $10,000 because we already have bursary for on-campus stay and overseas programs, but they don't cover everything. The shortfall, you can use your opportunity enhancement grant to top up accordingly. And just to recap, these are the application things that you need to do. Make sure that you think through carefully, put down your program choices to benefit from first choice bonus point, free up your short response question achievements wisely for aptitude-based admission. So the application window has already opened, and you can apply for financial aid from March onwards as well. And then application will close on 19th of March. Take note of it. And between late March all the way to end of May, we will release scholarship results, admission outcomes. That is for Singapore, Cambridge, GCE A-levels. For those international students who already applied, your results, your outcomes will be released progressively between now all the way until July. And stay connected with us, and you can find out more information from nus.edu/us admissions, or you can write in to nus.edu/us admissions to find out more. And most importantly, NUS Open House. Now, today is the first day of our online open house, and find out more about the faculties that are interested in attend their online open house and come on campus. 7th of March, we'll be delighted to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Goh, for your sharing. We will now move on to the Q&A segment. We have especially invited two NUS students, Tia and Nicholas, to share with us today. Tia is a third-year international student studying Industrial and Systems Engineering with a second major in Management at the College of Design and Engineering. Currently, Tia serves as a Director of Strategic Initiatives at NUS Women in Business, where she leads the planning and execution of industry-facing initiatives and partners with firms across consulting, finance, banking, and related sectors to deliver professional development events. At her residence lighthouse, she has been a floor head as well as a coaching buddy to help her fellow residents navigate their life on NUS campus. On top of juggling schoolwork and extracurricular activities, Tia believes in getting a career head start by sourcing for internships during her term break. Last year, she spent her summer as a supply chain intern at Unilever. As part of the industrial attachment program offered by NUS Engineering, she also served as a viewer experience intern at the Walt Disney Company for one semester. Currently, she's on a student exchange program where she will be spending a semester at University of Leeds in the United Kingdom before returning to NUS for her final year. Nicholas is a second-year student from NUS Law and an alumnus of Singapore Polytechnic's Aerospace Electronics course. He's also a recipient of the NUS Law Class of 1986 Scholarship, and as a vice president of the Law Students International Relations Club, and Nicholas spearheads cross-border initiatives and activities to strengthen ties between NUS and international law students. Beyond leadership roles, Nicholas represents NUS at the 5th virtual international competition and will be competing in the upcoming Wong Partnership International Commercial Arbitration Moot. Nicholas also previously interned with both banking and finance and investment fund teams at Linklaters during his summer break to gain a career head start. So I'll hand the time over to Prof. Go, who will be moderating the Q&A segment with Tia and Nicholas. Prof. Go, please.
Thank you, Grace, and big thank you to Tia and Nicholas for joining me for this Q&A segment. I think nothing beats hearing the experiences of our students. So maybe I invite Tia and Nicholas to say hello to our audience here first. Yeah, over to you, Tia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tia Nagpal. I'm a third-year engineering student here at NUS, and I'm really excited to be here today and share more about my journey as a student.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas. I'm a second-year law student at the Faculty of Law. I'm also excited to hear all of your different comments as well as share some of my personal experiences also for your consideration.
Thank you, Tia and Nicholas. I'm sure we are all excited to hear from you. And you know that as just now as what Grace explained, both of you actually had an interesting pathway. Like Tia, you are a industrial and system engineering student. You're doing a second major in management from the business school. Now, that is something that, of course, we greatly encourage because we are a comprehensive university. We want students to do second major, to do minor. So the question is, why management? Is making a choice. And also, Nicholas has an interesting background as well. It's going from polytechnic, aerospace, electronics, all the way to law. Again, is making choices. Now, I think we will greatly benefit, if you can share with us the thinking process behind your choices. So let's invite Tia to speak first, and then followed by Nicholas.
Thank you, Prof, for the question. So when I first came to NUS, I knew I wanted to study engineering because I really enjoy problem solving and thinking logically. But once I started taking modules and joining student activities, I realized that I was also really curious about the business side of things and how decisions are made, how companies grow, and how ideas get implemented. And what I really appreciated about NUS is how open it is to interdisciplinary learning. So it's quite normal here for students to explore beyond their main faculty. The system makes it really possible to take modules across schools, and there's a lot of encouragement to step outside of your comfort zone. So adding a second major didn't really feel like something extra to me. It just felt like a natural extension of what I was already learning. So yes, engineering teaches me more about the technical side of things, but business also teaches me more about the risk-taking and the decision-making side of things. So to me, it felt like a natural decision.
So I guess both discipline, engineering and business, is developing different aspect of your thinking process, and I think this is where you develop holistically. That's really wonderful. And let me just take this opportunity to highlight that on the application form, there's a multidisciplinary degree programs that student can put down 8 choices. That is, there are certain double major combination, major minor combinations, or double degree combinations, but those are not all. there are multiple ways that you can actually take up this second major or minor at the point of applications, like what is here, or after you've come in, you explore and then you take it up. I guess this is what Tia did when she came. And Nicholas, how about you? Share with us your journey.
Of course, bro. For me, I think if I have $1 for every person who have asked me why I transitioned from engineering to law, I think I will have roughly around $64, $65 today already. Yes. So
Uh,
I'm really excited to actually share about my journey as well as my thought processes also. So for me personally, I think that at the end of my polytechnic journey, I had to ask myself these two questions. Firstly, after I graduate, what sort of career impact do I want to make in my career? And secondly, where do I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years? To answer these two questions, I think what I had done was that I undertook a lot of volunteering work as well as advocacy work through my engineering curriculum to actually ensure that advocacy is something that I want to push forth when I graduate. And considering that in the engineering role, I don't get to advocate as much, I knew that I wanted to pivot to a field where I'm encouraged to actually present myself and to actually present aspects of decisions as well as how should I put this? Values as well as goals that I want to represent on behalf of my client or any sort of community that I come across. And to the end itself, I think that really resonates with a proud goal. What you say about these two
mhm.
things, finding your passion as well as finding the attitude towards going towards finding your career at hand. So in order to do this, I think what's important is to actually understand your personal goals and your passion to enable your route in the future also. So in transitioning from engineering to law, I thought it'd be quite difficult, but I think it's about your perspective and as well as your framing also. What's important is learning how to adapt to the new environment. For me personally, what I did was I was able to use what I learned in engineering, the analytical thinking, to actually break down
Mhm.
complex legal problems. So I think that's an added benefit from like coming from a very unique background, which enabled my progress in law school.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. I think this is really solid, down to earth advice. This is great, you know. In fact, all disciplines, they will teach you certain aspects, certain thinking process, maybe engineering, maybe law, maybe business. And this is where the advantage of coming to a comprehensive university, you actually get to learn all these different aspects. Now, just now, I think Nicholas already alluded about transition, and because you notice that we have such a rich student life on campus. You know, Tia and Nicholas. Tia is very active in this NUS Women in Business. Nicholas is interested in all the various mood competition. Now, time management is one thing, and how do you manage to cope? There's only 24 hours a day, and maybe let Tia share first, and then followed by Nicholas.
Thank you, Prof, for the question. Yeah, definitely, I'd say when I was entering into NUS into the first year, I was a bit scared about how I'm going to manage my time, especially my academics with the extracurricular activities I wanted to take on because there was a lot I wanted to explore and see what works for me. But I think that honestly, NUS is very flexible in the terms of Prof Go also mentioned earlier in the webinar about NUS having a grade-free first year, so you can take different classes that you want to take on different extracurricular activities without being too stressed about the outcome of it all. And while still getting adjusted, and especially for me, because I'm an international student, even the way the education works in Singapore versus back home is a little bit different. So it took some time for me to adjust, but I think NUS offers a lot of different opportunities for you to adjust, as well as the student clubs in NUS. There's over 300 student clubs. So there's a place for everyone, whether you like dancing, whether you like theater, whether you like different types of sports. For me, I enjoy event planning, hence NUS Women in Business. I also enjoy dance. So sometimes I'll take part in some dance productions. But really, there's a place for everyone, and there's a lot of opportunities for you to try. There's a student fair at the beginning of the year as well where you can explore. So I'd say don't be too scared about it. Just try and come in with an open mind, and you'll find your footing quite easily.
That's wonderful. Yeah. How about you, Nicholas?
For me, I recently completed one of the WOMP International Arbitration competitions, and I might have to put it bluntly, is that in terms of law school curriculums, it can definitely take a toll on your scheduling. With the added commitment of entering competitions as well as various external commitments, such as handling my law school exchanges, you really have to understand how to actually break down your schedule. And in terms of breaking down your schedules, you must understand what are the priorities and what are the deadlines beforehand. So at the start of my curriculum, I'll always ensure to look at our lovely canvas where all of the files as well as the deadlines are being presented to ensure that I note down every single class and every single commitment that I have before entering and before committing myself. Because law school work enables you to learn, but it also requires you to read a lot also. Yeah, so in entering a lot of these competitions, you're putting additional workload onto um, um, uh, a curriculum that really requires you to intensively understand the different concepts and application. So in doing so, I think time management is very, very important in that you must understand your own schedule. But in entering all this competition, I think what's really valuable is that you're able to apply what you have learned in the hypotheticals to real situations. So I thought that was really, really interesting, especially with regards to the competition that I finished a couple days ago.
Thank you, Nicholas. I think Nicholas has highlighted very important point about time management, and I think Tia has actually demonstrated that be brave. Let's try things, come out of the comfort zone. I think it's a matter of discipline. It's a matter of how you plan your student life. And in fact, Tia, in case those of you who don't know, Tia is actually not dialing in from NUS, from Singapore. Tia is currently doing her student exchange in University of Leeds. And I think this is beyond midnight already. Thank you so much for talking to the students here. And so, Tia, maybe you can share us about the international perspective that what are the takeaway of your student exchange experience in UK now?
Absolutely, Prof. So yes, I'm currently on student exchange at the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom. And why I chose to do this is when I first came to NUS, I knew that I didn't just want a strong academic experience. I definitely did, but I also wanted to experience different cultures, different perspectives, and different ways of thinking. And I think NUS makes that very possible. And the student exchange program, they have so many different exchange opportunities across the world. So even when I was applying, the process is very well supported. There's so many different options if you want to study in the UK, if you want to study in Europe, if you want to study in the United States or Australia. There's hundreds of options to choose from. And I think being here on exchange, it's definitely broadened how I see my studies and how I see my future. Like you interact with so many different people from different backgrounds and you hear different viewpoints in the classroom as well, and you see how different cultures teach different things. And even my engineering classes here are different from my engineering classes back in Singapore. So you really do get to pick up different nuances and you learn how to adapt quickly. So I definitely say it builds independence as well as global awareness. So for me, exchange has been a way to like step outside my comfort zone even more
Mhm.
while still being supported by NUS. And that global exposure for me is something that I'll take with me even beyond university.
That's wonderful. Global exposure is something that I think is very good for our young people to actually get to see the world and see how the world function. And while Nicholas has not gone for any student exchange yet, but I think his involvement in the Law Students International Relations Club also provides a different kind of global exposure. Nicholas, you want to share this?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Prof. With regards to our little club like ELSA, well, what we do is that we will handle the incoming exchange students who are coming from all of the different law schools around Asia as well as globally. So what you experience is definitely different cultures. So what we have is a culture night where we allow all of our different exchanges to come together to actually show us and demonstrate their own cultural experiences. So there's a lot of intercultural sharing as well as allowing them to integrate into our local Singapore landscape. So we also conduct a lot of like the Singapore tours to ensure that they can assimilate into our culture relatively well and also learn our Singlish lingo also. So it's about giving back and also learning about the different aspects of I guess life around different parts of the world. So I think that's very, really culture enriching for not only the local law students, but also for our exchange also.
Yeah, in fact, student exchange. Many students always thought that student exchange means our students going overseas, but there is the other very important component that on campus you saw that you see a multiracial, multinational society that you have many exchange students from overseas university coming to NUS as well to spend one semester with us, and that is where we really enrich our students' learning experience in a global university. And finally, let me come to the last topic that I just want to touch on, that is internship, career preparation. I think that was the first question in today's webinar that I saw as well. Tia, you have done couple of internship. Can you share with us what have you gained from this internship and how do you go about looking for this internship?
Definitely. Yeah, I think that internships are a very crucial part of your learning experience because in university we learn a lot of information, but getting to apply that knowledge hands-on in the industry is a completely different experience. And I think that makes us more career ready and more employable as well when we get to experience these things. So last year in the summer, I interned as a supply chain intern at Unilever. And while this was not credit bearing, I actually received this posting on one of NUS's career websites, and I was able to apply via that. But definitely, what I took away from that internship was the technicality of my degree because I study engineering. So, how that's applied in the supply chain in real life and skills that I can pick up and maybe use one day when I graduate. And then I also did a second internship last year at the Walt Disney Company, and this was actually part of the industrial attachment program, which is offered by NUS Engineering. So for this internship where I interned for one whole semester, I actually get credits for it. So it's a part of my degree and it's a part of my curriculum. And when I tell a lot of people outside NUS that, they're very surprised that the university is pushing you to do internships because they think it's a great opportunity for you to get hands-on learning. So that was great as well. I got credits for my internship and I was able to use it towards my graduation and still learn a lot about how the global media landscape works and how there's such big companies, but you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes and how you can pick up those little things, which again make you more employable and more career ready in the future.
I couldn't agree more about the valuable learning aspect about internship. And internship, it can be credit bearing. You can source it on your own as well. And Nicholas, I believe you have also done internship. Tell us about this.
Most definitely, Prof. For my side, I'll definitely say that mine was a self-sourced one. Although the faculty does provide a lot of opportunities with their collaboration with the various big four law firms in Singapore as well as the medium-sized one. For me, I think what I really want to do is to explore the different facets of the law industry. Now we know that in the law industry there are a lot of different facets and I guess niche areas like aviation law, banking and finance, investment funds. Now, these are some curriculums that are not really highlighted when you're doing your academic endeavors at like the NUS level. Because what you're doing is you're basically learning the foundational aspects and the principles. What going to an internship environment does is to actually enable you to translate all of your academic skills to something that is more practical to actually present it to like clients. So at my internship with Latest as a legal intern, what I learned was that there was more beyond just how to like prepare a memorandum. I must know what are the different forms and what are the different procedural steps in order to like submit registration for a client's legal processes. So these are some things that you can't really learn within the faculty, and are some experiences that you definitely need to encounter before entering the law firms when you graduate in general.
Thank you, thank you. So I think we all agree that experiential learning is really something that is will really enhance what you learn in the classroom and something you learn beyond the classroom. So okay, thanks very much again to Tia and Nicholas for your sharing. And now I pass the time back to Grace for her closing.
Thank
Over
you,
to you,
Prof.
Grace.
Goh, thank you, Prof. Goh, Thea, and Nicholas for sharing your experience, insights, and sound advice. I hope they have managed to answer your questions and clarify your doubts. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that this webinar has been helpful. If you have any further questions, please send them through our FAQ portal, which can be found in the chat box shortly. We understand that most of you have signed up for an array of open house events lined up for the rest of the week, rest of today as well as the rest of the week, and we hope that you have a fruitful time. Do visit us at our admissions booth next Saturday, 7th of March, if you wish to speak with an admissions officer or chat with our student ambassadors. A wide range of talks and activities await too. Find out more information via the links and QR codes provided. We look forward to seeing you on campus. Nicholas will also be there, so catch him there in person at our booth. We also greatly appreciate if you could please take a few minutes to fill in the feedback form. You may scan the QR code or access the link that we have shared on the chat board. Your feedback is important to us, so please let us know how we can improve. So thank you once again. My colleagues and I look forward to receiving your applications and warmly welcoming you to NUS. Have a great day ahead.